Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our academics business programs Launch Your Career. Today we're gonna, well, let me start. I'm Shelby Higgins. I am the program director for all of the online business programs here at Miller-Motte College. And today we're going to give you kind of a little insight into the benefits and value of having a business degree. We're going to see some videos of success stories from people that were kind of unsure about what to do with their degrees. And then we're also going to give an overview of the importance and how to set up your LinkedIn so that you can start networking. So these are some of the business programs we have. We start with our associates in business administration, and then you can move on and get bachelor's degrees in human resource management, accounting, marketing, and business administration. We also have an associate's in construction and trades management for those students who received a trades diploma at one of the ground campuses. So in today's competitive business landscape, you want to be able to like elevate yourself and be professional. There's many reasons that you can get into business. Some people use it to start their own company and gain all the knowledge in order to build a business so they can be their own boss, because there's many benefits of that. And the things you learn throughout your business programs can put you on the right track. There's some fun courses in there. You get more than just the marketing and the finance. They teach you how to write a business plan and how to write a strategic plan so it can set you on track. Business degrees are very versatile. Personally, I have multiple, and I have my job because of my business degrees. And so they do have value to them. Many companies look at that. And if you're interviewing for a job and you're competing against several other people that have equal qualifications but less education, that education can really help. You can show that you were committed to getting your degree, and so you're learning to apply real world experience that you've learned within your program. So we're going to kind of walk you through how to network yourself, make sure you're a strong candidate. That's important. It's one of the biggest things you're going to want to do as you not just get close to graduating, but throughout your degree, you want to start networking from the start. So you want to position yourself in a professional manner. 85% of jobs are filled through networking. It's based on who you know, and they can get you those right connections. You'll want to make sure your professional profile, that's kind of like your digital handshake. It's your digital image of yourself, and those career moves you make early on can set you up for long-term success. And the two people we're going to see that have their success stories, you'll see why. So the first one, Dr. Martin, she started a lot of her education later on. It wasn't right out of high school. And she now owns multiple businesses and has a doctorate.
Hi, I'm Dr. Marshawn Martin. I am current faculty at the University of Hawaii and part of faculty at campus.edu, an online university. I also do public speaking based on women's leadership on my research. We currently own, my husband and I, a coffee business based here in Hawaii, and we're about to launch another business for customizable souvenirs for Hawaiian tourists. Definitely, I have an entrepreneur spirit at heart. I do have a deep background in corporate America as well, though. So I think the best advice that I can share is to really define your own success. That way you can pursue your passions and be flexible, be willing and able to pivot along your journey, whether it's professionally or personally, and give yourself a lot of grace along the way. So my story is very eclectic. I didn't go back to get my education until I was 34 years old, graduated with my bachelor's at 38, went on to complete my master's at 40, and didn't finish my doctorate until I was 47. So, if I had followed or really compared myself to other people's journeys, I would have been discouraged, most definitely. And, I love what I've done and when I've done it. And every person's story is different and unique. And so, I encourage you to really define your own story and chase your own dreams, and make sure that you don't hit that wall or that burnout by chasing after something someone else said was successful, when your dream is to be a stay-at-home mom running a successful family, or to be in the military, or to be a CEO. I mean, the spectrum's broad. So, anything is possible. Just realize and know yourself well enough to know that this is what I like here and now, and that might change. The person you're at 20 and the person that you're at in your 30s and in your 40s and your 50s and so forth, you evolve, and so your career might evolve, and just follow that along the way. Another key thing for me was self-efficacy. I really believing in myself, knowing that I can, while I might not know it now, I can learn it enough to accomplish that goal, to hit those dreams. And so building on that, being a lifelong learner, hugely important. I always tell my students and those that I coach that the smartest day I'll ever be is on the day I die, because we continue to learn. Another key component of my success so far is mentoring. My mentors, I wouldn't even have my doctorate today had it not been for a mentor. Very unique person. He used to be a radio DJ and then evolved into being a judge in a courtroom. And I ended up working with him along the way. And he, when I was going to get my doctorate, I was offered this opportunity because I was working at a university. I was married. I had two very young kids, under 7, and I was traveling the world for my position. So, a very demanding career. And I went to him and I said, is this crazy for me to even consider this? But I don't want to pass up. I feel like it's irresponsible to not take advantage of this. And he said, Marshawn, the time's going to pass anyway. And what will you have to show for it? Wow, that was profound. So if it wasn't for that mentor, I wouldn't even be where I am today. So I encourage you to always have mentors. I still have a mentor at this point in my life. And then once you have reached certain levels, consider being a mentor to others. So yes, my best advice, follow those dreams, give yourself grace along the way, know that you can do it, and build your tribe. All right. Many great wishes to you. I wish you all the best.
So I think one of the key takeaways from Dr. Martin: trust in your own journey. Your journey is not going to be the same as your classmates or anybody else. Believe in yourself, and what path you want to take. It's not going to be the same as everyone else takes, and it doesn't have to be. That's what makes you unique and your education unique. So our next example is Chelsea. She started out in a completely different career, and now she is a VP at one of the largest resorts in Las Vegas.
Hello, I'm Chelsea. Hello, I'm Chelsea Kuzik, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about my own experience, as well as give you some lesson learned and some advice to keep you going. So I am from Las Vegas, and I currently work for one of the largest gaming and hospitality companies as the head of HR. And I didn't always see that myself would be in HR. I have a non-traditional route of how I got here. I actually went to school for my undergraduate in film production because I really liked movies, and I knew someone in the industry that was willing to help me get my foot in the door. And then I ended up not doing that. I started in advertising, selling the classified section of the newspaper to really help employers find people to help open up their jobs. Then I decided one day that I wanted to become a teacher, and I got my master's in elementary education. And during that time, I had the opportunity to meet someone who would influence my career forever. And they offered me an opportunity to do career services for a local college. Fortunately, from that route, I ended up gaining more relationships and more people, and found that I had a true passion for HR and helping those to succeed while they're at work or maybe even in their future as they grow in their development. What I do in my day-to-day as an HR professional is I coach employees, I work on progressive discipline, I have a lot of great projects, culture, engagement, help with strategic planning. I am a true partner to the business, and I'm very grateful that I have an opportunity to help shape the lives of other employees and make sure that they have a good engagement while they're at work. Some of the lessons learned that I've had along my journey, but with all the twists and turns that have taken place, is the first and foremost is to stay adaptable. Without the adaptability that I've had, I would not be where I am today. And because of that, I found that being adaptable made it so that opportunities would come forward that I would have never have considered. The second thing is I really focus on building really strong relationships. I get to know people not just as a title and not just as a business relationship, but as a true person. I get to know their family, I get to know their history, and I take the time to understand what some of those key things are that they're interested in, so that when I see them again, I can bring those up and really feel like they're important to me. And they are important to me. The last lesson that I really learned from was setbacks, and not seeing a failure as something that I now needed to end or that I needed to walk away from. Setbacks are just doors of opportunity to where you can learn from them, and you may gain relationships or insights that you didn't have before. Some advice that I have for students is to develop your technical and your people skills. Don't just focus on your degree. Take time to get to know other people and learn about how you can improve your soft skills that might be needed in a future career opportunity. The second thing is saying yes. Say yes to opportunities that normally you wouldn't say yes to. They might seem like a really big challenge today, and when you look back on it, it might have been one of the best ideas you ever had was to say yes, because it truly pulled you outside of your comfort zone and you learned from that opportunity in more ways than one. The third thing is really to network and find mentors. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't take the opportunity to truly network and get to know people, and not for self-interest, but for them to see how I can show up each and every day to work and the quality that I would produce with the work that I did. And I really found an opportunity to find mentors. Anybody can be a mentor. It can be someone from your community. It can be a colleague or a friend. It can be someone that you work for, or someone that works for you, or someone you work with. Mentors can really help you to see what your potential is and to give you advice and be your truth teller. Now, as you look to the work that you're doing here today, think about each and every moment as a stepping stone to the next accomplishment that you're going to have. What I love is one of my favorite quotes is, everyone sees your glory, they don't always know your story. So continue with your story. It's something that you get to build on your own and that you get to be proud of.
All right. So one thing, first, those stories that we just heard are extremely powerful. And if you notice, a common theme is not just that their backgrounds or their journeys might not have been conventional, which is awesome, because we always have in our mind a set preconceived notion about how folks interact during and after they graduate. And these folks started from humble beginnings, did not know what was next for them. So the fact that they were able to do that speaks volumes about what we do and what plays a role for all of you, because we are all here for different reasons and different empowering reasons. So I think that that is phenomenal. So I wanted to touch base on LinkedIn real fast, something that a lot of folks underestimate. We know about Career Builder, we know about Indeed, that's one of my favorites, and we know about ZipRecruiter and the job searching websites, which are phenomenal tools to use. However, LinkedIn, I call it your digital first impression. So it's like your resume, cover letter, and a networking event all rolled into one. You can literally use it to find out who a CEO is, an HR recruiter, or even other people who work at these places. You can search a friend that works at a company and see the open positions, other people who do what you do, to see if there's folks who you relate to. But some ways that it matters. So it levels the playing field. So even for online students, because even though you're online, even if you're not on a campus, it could still you could still show a very strong professional presence. Many recruiters recruit directly from LinkedIn, so it doesn't matter. You have that. So let's start with your professional photo. Make sure it's clear, it's well lit, and it's approachable. Do not have the peace sign going like this. Do not have your kids and your dog in your background while you're on vacation. Have a nice picture with you with a shirt and tie. Have a good headline. So you would have, beyond being a student, have your career goals. I'm a business student. I'm an aspiring marketing analyst. I'm an aspiring business owner. I'm aspiring customer service manager, what have you. Make a section that has a career story, make it passionate, make it direct. And then for your skills and endorsements, add your coursework. Let them know you took finance classes, you took accounting classes, what you learned, what you networked, events you did, your any academic achievement, certifications, or technical or business skills. So I just wanted to touch on that. Cheri, did you want to add anything before I continue?
No, other than link to your point, Jeff, LinkedIn is an awesome tool. And I do encourage everybody to just take some time to set one up and just, look around in there. It is a phenomenal tool.
Awesome. And I will say too, when you work with career services, our advisors love doing these things, walking you through it. We have templates. We'll look at it and tell you what to change, add, remove, even make it better, because that's what we're here for. We're all trained and certified to do this. And for specifically for business program students, you want to highlight any business projects or group work or case studies you did, because these little things are important to know that it's beyond just a degree, but certain acumens you have. If you have presentations or certain reports that you want to show, or even, and the biggest thing is you want to follow companies in your target industry, and join business focused LinkedIn groups. So if you want to work in insurance, you want to follow State Farm or what have you. If you want to work in aviation or what have you, you follow those groups. Or if you want to work in finance, you might want to, there's different financial companies, Robert Half or what have you, that you want to work with and follow. Accenture, and that goes for any industry. And then finally, with networking, you want to connect with your classmates. That's how you connect. You never know if they're going to get a job, and you see them and they might put up a, hey, we're hiring, or they might share a post, hey, we're hiring 20 people for this role. That would be nice, right? But what have you. You want to follow classmates, faculty, and other alumni. And then you would send personal advice. Don't just add them, but send a little, hey, I'd like to connect, or hey, we graduated together. I see you went to Miller-Motte College as well. That's awesome. So you want to use that to engage, and engage all the time, engage weekly. Look at it as your own Instagram or Facebook, but on a professional level. Anything else you want to add, Cheri? Or
No, you hit the nail on the head, Jeff.
All right. We can go to the next slide. All right. And then last thing I was going to say about networking. So as I mentioned too, you want to begin early. Don't just create a LinkedIn and you're working for a career services team. You want to create your LinkedIn probably when you're about halfway through your program, to start connecting with people, start connecting with faculty, start connecting with other classmates, start following businesses that are in your area, and that nationwide, mainly nationwide one, especially if you want to relocate, or a lot of you like to work remotely. That's a good way to do it as well. And then perfect your elevator pitch. And we can definitely sit down and work with you on that. And if no one's clear what elevator pitch is, that's basically just what it is. It's your quick, hey, what do you do for a living? I do A, B, and C. I've done A, B, and C for how long? This is what I'm skilled at. This is where I'm looking to go. There's many ways to do it, but it's a quick, just way you introduce yourself and mention the industry you're in. And then you, as I mentioned, build genuine relationships. Don't just go down and do a mass ad. Just like with Facebook and Instagram, people are going to say, who are you? Where'd you come from? Make sure it's personal. Hey, I saw that we both attended here. Hey, I see that you are a recruiter at this company. I read about you. This looks cool. I would like to learn more. Make it genuine, make it more personable.
Mhm. And can I add something with that, Jeff?
Do it.
So, one of the things about networking, and Shelby mentioned it earlier, 80, I think you said 84% of jobs are found through networking. It's about who you know. And networking is happens when you go to the grocery store. You're checking out, and while you're having a conversation with the cashier, just you know, mention that you just finished, you just got your degree in business, and ask the cashier if they know if they're hiring. Just use any opportunity that you have to chat with somebody as a networking opportunity. And a lot of each town has a chamber of commerce that has a lot of different events. So if you were to look up your town's chamber of commerce, if you were to Google it and look in, they usually will have a calendar. And if you open up the calendar, they will have networking events posted. And usually they will let you attend as a guest. And when you go, that's your opportunity to meet other industry professionals that are hiring. They are also advertising their business, and that this is the perfect opportunity for you to stand up and do your 30-second commercial, or as Jeff mentioned, your elevator speech. So we are happy to help you with that. It's a great tool, and definitely utilize networking in your job search.
Good stuff, Cheri. Um, and then as we mentioned, some of the networking do's and don'ts. This is pretty interesting. So do not request, I mean, yeah, sorry, you do request warm introductions through mutual connections. So, for example, Shelby, amazing program director. If I'm a student who worked with Shelby, got, regardless of what field I was in, I stood out as a student. I would say, hey, Shelby, I see this person works in this field. I see you also are connected to them. Do you mind if you might introduce me to them or let them know that I'm interested in working with them? There's nothing wrong with doing that because you have that mutual connection. You listen actively and ask thoughtful questions. So do not ask, hey, do you guys get a lot of PTO days? Or how much they pay y'all there? Don't ask that, especially if you don't know the person. No, you say, hey, how's your experience been at this job? How has how's upward movement? How was the company grown? What's the potential to expand in the company or move up or the opportunities? And then always thank them. Even if something did not come of fruition, you never know if something will later. So do not burn bridges. And then offer help before just asking for favors. Hey, you know, I saw that we have a new program at the school I went to. I can connect you with our admissions department if you want to get this certification or what have you. Or, hey, I can do these projects that I learned. Maybe I can help you with this. Maybe do that too. Offer something you can have. And then some things you don't do. Do not, just because a peer that you have might be a receptionist or an admin assistant, don't go above their head to their manager. That doesn't look good. And it's kind of insulting to the person that you are connected with or close to. And then do not share personal details in a professional setting. That's rule 101. So if you like to go and party on Friday nights or what have you, that's fine. Wait till happy hours when you're already working there and you're cool with them. Do not just share that and have that interest or what have you. And then don't just send, as I mentioned earlier, just adding people with no substance. And do not try to appear desperate. Don't keep messaging them over and over and over again. They're going to put you a spam or they're going to say this person is annoying. So anything you want to add, Cheri?
Nope. You got it.
Cool. All right. Next slide. All right. And then some everyday networking opportunities. So, of course, there's school connections, as I mentioned as well. There's the daily interactions. So, talking to your fellow peers, whether it's on LinkedIn or whatever other platform you all use. I know there's Slack. Some people keep in touch on social media. leveraging part-time jobs. Talk with your student service advisor, services advisor, student service advisor, career service advisor. Sorry, tongue twister. About part-time jobs or survival jobs that'll help you, or internships, because there are plenty of them that we can find on workforce sites or in your area. And then, of course, maintain your alumni network. Whenever you go to schools, Miller-Motte College or what have you, you can see that there's a section on LinkedIn that has it. And then virtual events, Career Services sends them out almost weekly. We have them through either our own that we set up or through partnerships that we use with different vendors or schools or organizations that we do that. Utilize that as well, because even if something might not be available right then, you can definitely connect with the recruiters or what have you in those spaces. Let's see. All right. And then this is a big one. So for those of you who are shy or have anxiety, this is okay. This is very, very, very normal. I remember the first time I went to a job fair or networking event, I was like, oh, I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. What if I don't speak like them or what have you? A lot of folks are thinking the same thing. We're all there to make an impression, to gain or build our networks, or to become someone. We're trying to expand our growth, our net worth in some manner, whether it's mentally, financially, what have you, and professionally, of course. So feeling feeling nervous is normal, even for seasoned professionals. I still get nervous sometimes, and I've been doing this for umpteen years. I'm not going to put age on me, but reframe it as an event of making friends. Find one or two people that you feel close to or feel their energy. I think that's the easiest thing, and stay close to them, and you can grow that way. And people are more approachable in groups. That's just my advice. And then try to reach out to one new person every week. You never know who might know somebody. So no matter how small the connection is, get it. And I always say, if it's in person, get a business card. If it's virtual, get their information, get their LinkedIn link, or get their email.
One thing I'd like to mention about networking is just like public speaking, as Jeff mentioned, you can get nervous. And here's the thing: the more you do something, the better you become at it, the more comfortable you become at it. And before you know it, you will be going to networking events, talking to people that you don't know, and feeling comfortable with it. If you're really nervous about it, one thing I suggest is get your 30-second commercial down on paper and practice it out loud at home. You know, pretend you're standing in front of a group of people and give your 30-second commercial. Say it out loud so you can hear yourself talk. And the more you practice it, the more fluent it becomes, and you can say it without having a note in front of your face. So just a couple suggestions on that.
All right. So some actions. Sorry, my animals are speaking volumes to what we're talking of. They're excited for you all. So we'll go with the momentum. So with that said, first thing first, update your LinkedIn. Update it and keep it updated. Follow people. And one other thing I was going to say as well, comment on threads you see. So if you see something interesting, comment. Appropriate comments. If you see something political, avoid it. Just my opinion. People polarizing. There's some companies that are conservative, some are very liberal. You're going to upset somebody. So kind of keep it neutral, or keep it focused on the business aspect. But create your LinkedIn, update it, and then craft your resume. Have your resume match your LinkedIn. So that have them be very similar, because a lot of times if the LinkedIn person, if you connect with a hiring manager on LinkedIn and they say, hey, go ahead and send me your resume, you want it to match. You don't want your LinkedIn to say you worked at Target for 3 years and then your resume doesn't mention Target at all. Whether capacity, they're going to say, okay, this person's not consistent in their messaging. So, and then make one connection. So reach out, as I mentioned, to at least one new professional contact with a personalized message consistently. And powerful statement: your network is your net worth. Build it with authenticity and purpose. That's why I kept saying net worth for a second ago. I knew I was.
I like that. I like that.
Thank you. All right.
So now we'll open it up for some questions. Thank you, Cheri and Jeff. That was great advice for their LinkedIn. And the QR code that we passed will lead you right to LinkedIn. So definitely jump on that and get going there. Now's your chance to ask anything you may want to know.
While you're waiting for questions to come in, I would also like to mention it's really important. Everybody, not everybody has social media. Some people prefer not to have social media, but it's really important if you do to make sure that you check your privacy settings on that. If you're in your job search, I highly recommend that you look at your social media. Is it something that you would want a potential employer to see, or is it something that could work against you? Um, your social media will speak volumes about a person, and so that's something that you'll want to keep in mind when you're in your job search, especially.
And I won't go into too much detail, but let's just say that some videos that she posted in the VIP section went viral.
And you were I think you were muted through a lot of your example. Couldn't hear anything.
We couldn't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, that's weird. Okay, long story short, there was a nice young lady who had a job, was in line to get a senior leadership position somewhere, and she had her bachelorette party and in Vegas. And there were some videos that were taken that were tagged on her page, and I think it would have done her well to, sometimes you like, even getting tagged in photos, have it so they have to be reviewed first, or just make your page not public. I'll just leave it at that to be appropriate. But it's very, very viral, intimate videos came out from her timeout. So yeah.
So
And
yeah,
same like I mentioned earlier,
good point.
Even political views. It's be careful what you say under blogs, what have you. Even if your opinion may or may not be justified, you never know. You might have a hiring manager that's very conservative. You might have a hiring manager that's very, very liberal. They might not agree with you and say, I can't work with someone here. We don't want people here with that mindset on both sides.
Agreed. So it's all about perspective and the image you're putting out there. Whether you want to go into marketing or finance, HR, or just general business leadership roles. Your business degree is versatile in pretty much every industry. You just have to put yourself out there and build yourself up. You're kind of like building yourself as a brand, just like a company builds their brand and their image. That's what you need to do also to utilize that degree. Do your LinkedIn, do what Jeff and Cheri recommended, and it'll serve you well in getting to where you want to be as you get through your degree and graduate. I appreciate everyone who came, and we're here to support you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.